What would you do if you came home to find the HOA president throwing a full-blown party on your lawn without asking shrimp skewers, silk tablecloths, and champagne flutes, all set up on your freshly cut grass? For one homeowner, it was the last straw. But instead of fighting fire with fire, he unleashed something far more chaotic and furry. This is how it all spiraled into HOA legend. It was a golden afternoon, the kind of quiet, peaceful moment that made home ownership feel worth it. I pulled into the driveway with my coffee still warm and the windows down. That's when I heard it, the clinking of glasses, silverware on porcelain, and a voice barking orders like a five-star general running a wedding rehearsal. I got out of the car and blinked twice. Karen. There she was, the queen of our HOA, perched on my freshly mowed front lawn in a wide sun hat, oversized sunglasses, and a flowing linen cover-up. She was flanked by catering staff. Shrimp skewers glistened on silver platters. A chef stood carving roast beef like it was a black-tie gala. Linen-covered tables, rented chairs, crystal flutes all arranged carefully in concentric chaos across my grass. She spotted me, offered a wave like I was a party guest, and shouted, "Don't worry, we'll be gone by 6. Your lawn gets the best light." I walked up slowly, struggling to process what I was seeing. "Karen, this is my property," she laughed. "It's just for my niece's bridal shower. No harm done. Besides, it's one afternoon." I reminded her she hadn't asked, hadn't notified me, hadn't even knocked. She blinked slowly, as if I'd suggested the sun needed permission to rise. "Don't make a fuss. It's for family." Behind the bay window, Max and Daisy, my 2 golden retrievers, were already pressing their noses against the glass. They knew something exciting was happening. I unlatched the gate. Karen's eyes widened. "You should keep them back. This is a high-end event." I bent down, scratched Max behind the ears, and asked, "Want to make some new friends, buddy?" They exploded into the yard like 2 furry rockets. Max charged headfirst into a table leg. The entire spread jolted sideways. A shrimp skewer launched across the lawn and hit a guest in the forehead. Daisy leapt with grace, snatching the silk table runner midair. It became a tug-of-war rope, pulling half the buffet into the grass. Karen shouted something about liability, then slipped on a paper plate and fell face first into the spinach dip. I didn't stop them. Not immediately. By the time I got Max's collar, Daisy was belly deep in cake. One guest screamed. Another recorded everything. Karen pulled herself up, smeared in dip and fury, and stormed off shouting that I'd be hearing from the HOA. She wasn't bluffing. The next morning, a neon orange envelope was duct-taped to my door. Karen's official complaint claimed my dogs had violently attacked her guests, destroyed property, and violated HOA behavior codes. She demanded $500 for damages. The list included a $350 cake knife, champagne flutes, and a dry cleaning bill for a silk jumpsuit. But I had something she didn't. Proof. Months before, I'd installed wildlife cameras around my yard after a few coyote sightings. They caught everything Karen trespassing, setting up the entire event, and my dogs reacting like any unrestrained retriever would, excited, clumsy, utterly harmless. I downloaded the footage and filed my own report. Then, I waited for the next HOA meeting. That evening, the clubhouse was packed. Karen sat up front, smug and composed. She wore pearls and a new jumpsuit, pastel this time. When my name was called, I walked to the front with a flash drive and my laptop. I didn't say much. I didn't need to. The footage played on the projector. Karen ordering tables to be placed, snapping at the chef, and ignoring property lines. Then came Max and Daisy, the chaos, the dip dive, the cake demolition. But most importantly, the laughter in the room grew with each second. Neighbors giggled, then guffawed. Someone clapped. Even a board member choked on their water. I ended the video and looked at Karen. Her face was stone. I pulled out my vet records, proving Max and Daisy were registered, vaccinated, and cleared by a certified trainer as non-aggressive. Then I handed over a copy of my own written complaint: harassment, false reporting, and trespassing. The board dismissed her fine. One member suggested investigating Karen's use of HOA resources for private events. Another mentioned rumors of past complaints filed in her handwriting on behalf of anonymous neighbors. Karen stayed quiet, but she wasn't done. 2 weeks later, I saw at a bounce house, just inches from my lawn. Karen had set up a new gathering on HOA land directly beside my property. Music blasting, picnic tables out. This time, she was on the legal side. I didn't argue. I didn't even walk over. Instead, I planned. The following weekend, I hosted Paws and Justice, a dog fun day on my front lawn. We had local rescue organizations, a grooming station, an obstacle course, and a puppy adoption tent. Kids came with painted faces. Dogs wore costumes. Even a therapy dog group joined in. Channel 7 sent a reporter. It was wholesome, family-friendly, and loud. Karen arrived mid-afternoon, dressed in pink and barely hiding her fury. As she tried to push her way toward the camera crew, a golden retriever puppy tripped her. She landed face first in the grass again, this time in front of a live mic. The clip went semi-viral. Not national, but enough for neighbors to send it around. Someone created a meme. Someone else printed it on a t-shirt. By Monday, half the board had called for a vote to audit her leadership. That week, my power box was vandalized. Deliberate, petty. I reported it, filed a police report, and quietly hired a real estate attorney. The next HOA meeting was different. Karen showed up flanked by a lawyer. But the atmosphere had shifted. Neighbors brought statements, screenshots, and silent support. People who had never spoken before were standing up, calling out her pattern, her obsession with control, her inability to respect boundaries. The board listened. That night, as the sun dipped behind the rooftops, I sat on my porch with Max and Daisy curled up beside me. The breeze was soft. The street was quiet. The next morning, someone left a basket on my doorstep. Inside was a bottle of cider, a thank you note from a neighbor I barely knew, and a plush dog toy shaped like a roast chicken. It wasn't a victory parade. It was something better: community.